Hey everyone! Today I just got a quick community update for everybody because there's a big thing happening either this weekend or sometime next week, which is the Impys. And if y'all haven't heard yet, the Impys is the first award ceremony that Media Molecule is having in honors of the Media Molecule Dreams community. And I, fortunately, have been nominated for an award. It was for Most Helpful Community Member, and I can't help but be honored for that nomination, and I'd be even more honored if I won. And speaking of, I'm one of the people that you can vote for in the 6 or so sections that you can vote for in the community voted section, so I'll put a link to that in the description. But otherwise, there are a few other sections than that. There are quite a few sections, but there's only 5 or 6 sections that you can actually vote for. So the ones that you can vote for are Hidden Gem Creator, Hidden Gem Dream, Community Star, Best Voice Acting, Favorite Streamer, and Most Helpful Dreamer. And of course, I was nominated for Most Helpful Dreamer alongside 4 others, and there are just so many wonderful, talented people in the list of nominations. There's a few people that I know personally, and man, I gotta say, it's some rough competition for them because there's a lot of good stuff in here, and I can't wait to see what happens on the awards ceremony day, which is on the 26th, I believe. Yes, live on January 26th will be the actual reward ceremony, which is Sunday, surprisingly. For the molecules to stream on a Sunday, that's kind of weird, but I can't wait. And that's about that, except I do want to talk about the prizes that are going to be there. So anyone that was nominated has already received a prize. Well, I'm guessing it won't show up until the awards, but anyone who is nominated will receive a badge on their profile to display that they were nominated for an award at the Impys. And if you do win, you'll also get a winner's badge, as well as an actual physical trophy, apparently, according to the Impy rules, which is awesome. So if I win, that'd be pretty cool to have, I gotta say. But to get on ahead, I want to also show off some cool creations that I've seen on Twitter that may or may not be on the Dreamiverse yet. And one of those things is this liquid sea type thing that has magnetism and it plays music, and it's pretty cool. If I were to guess how it was made, it's probably a single painting that is connected on 2 sides, and it's a bunch of singular line strokes of different colors, and it's made physical, and it probably has no gravity, and it would be probably pretty floppy. And what they did here is that cube in the video, he takes it and moves it closer, and the way it actually works is that you can use a force applier, and the force applier can actually apply force to paintings. So the painting is just being applied force on, so the physicality makes it stretch up and down, and I think that looks pretty neat, as well as a few others on Twitter thought so. Next up would be this really cool holographic scanner type thing. It's kind of like a hologram in like Blade Runner or Cyberpunk, but it's not like rendered complete all the time. The way I think this works is it's a bunch of ray scopes or laser scopes rotating around this field that he puts the objects in, and depending on how far away the laser is from that object, that's where the emitter will actually emit a singular painting fleck that changes color over time. So there's probably a crap ton of them, and it's like a wave, and it looks pretty expensive. He doesn't have much in the scene there, but if you see in the lower left corner, it looks like he's got about 25% gameplay just for that. And then next is somebody made a pretty cool Ragdoll and Ragdoll system with the tutorial I made, and he went ahead and sent me a tweet about it, and I thought it just looked pretty cool. And of course, I already know how that was done because I have a video on it. And if you haven't seen it yet, that was my last tutorial, and it was a remake of my very first tutorial. And trust me, the mic quality is a whole lot better, and there are some actual improvements that I made to the system. Next up is something that's not really from the community per se. It's from a molecule, surprisingly, and it is a very funny meme. And it is an animation, and I suggest that you go check it out. I'm going to have a link to all these posts in the description. I'm not going to play it for you guys, but I will put the link for it in the description. It's pretty funny. Go check it out. Lastly, there's my projects and what I'm working on. First things first, a video or two ago was a highlight of my Memes the Game stream. I was working on the final boss enemy, and I have him just about finished, so why don't I give you a sneak peek of that right now.
My skin is protected against ledges and oceans with bees. And to answer your question, no, they're not.
Good job. Good job.
Once I complete, so much for you, be the chosen one.
Next up is a project that I started working on a little bit ago. I don't want to give up yet. It's going to be what I work on right after I finish this Memes the Game update. And of course, that would be the steampunk RTS game. And it was inspired by Prinz Laser on Twitter. He started working on a RTS in similar vein, and I was like, hey, I hear a lot of people are having trouble with grid systems and getting buildings to stay on the grid. I heard somebody had made a RTS in the beta, and the grid itself was 10% gameplay thermal. And that's because it was using tags. So I went ahead and made a entire template or tool, whatever you want to call it, and I'm basically just making a game with that tool. And I went ahead and published that tool, so if you want to make your own, you can go ahead. I'm showing off the logic for a little bit of the game right now on screen, and actually it's not that complicated, but there is a few intricacies in it, such as the gyroscope tool that I made that gets the gyroscope stable input, instead of all over the place. And then the last thing I want to mention is there is going to be some news I have for Project Europa, or Europa Descent, coming soon. It's not ready yet, but it will be ready sometime this weekend or sometime after the Impys. So be sure to keep an eye out for some of that news, and you might be able to catch it on mine or Faron's Twitter first before I make a video about it. But just know that I'm making a video on that in the near future. Once again, I'd like to take this time to thank my patrons: Christian Sanchez, Darius Colassen, Empty Chest, Mythic Marty, Patrick Keller, William Snyder, and Skylar Ruin. Well, thank you all for watching, guys. I hope you all go ahead and vote for you-know-who in the Impys, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.